Good afternoon, guys. So nice to have you, Lisa Lippman and Warner Lewis, here at the Real Deal Forum for this interview. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
So what would you say, Lisa, are the qualities that make a truly successful real estate agent?
So I think, like in every job, there's a bunch of things that are important. It's super important, though, and I will say this for any successful person, is to work hard. So I think that a lot of people think that some people magically fall into this and magically have large listings handed to them and magically get large buyers, and it all is just super easy. And the fact is that it's hard to be successful, and it takes a lot of hard work. You have to show up. You have to go into lots of doors. Kevin always says that you have to walk through a lot of doors. You have to really know your business. I also think you have to be friendly. You have to be outgoing. You have to be open-minded. And you also have to be not stuck in your ways. I think you have to be able to pivot easily, because it's always a changing business on a day-to-day basis. And obviously with technology and a change in market, everything morphs very quickly. So you really need to be able to stay on top and ahead.
You have to be flexible for sure.
Very flexible.
Warner, what would you like to add to that?
No, I think that she hit the main points. I don't care what the industry is. There is no overnight success. I mean, Ed Sheeran popped up out of nowhere. He was playing his guitar on the streets for years before he became Ed Sheeran. It's so any industry, whatever you do, the sort of Kobe Bryant mindset of getting up earlier than anyone and being the one willing to put in the most work. Everyone I know is successful is not successful because they have a skill that supersedes their ability to outwork everyone else.
Yeah.
That is in and of itself a superpower, that the biggest one I want to get across to my kids, because I don't think that work ethic was something that was maybe to the same degree celebrated in society. We had Mickey Mantle, we had Babe Ruth as baseball players who be drunk and out every night, and now we have athletes who treat their body as a temple because they understand every little advantage they can get, they're going to take. So hard work is number one. I think the other thing is to be willing to be uncomfortable. I remember starting in real estate and going to take showings for someone, and I didn't know the difference between a co-op and a condo, and sitting out right by Central Park freaking out because I was so anxious because I had no idea what I was doing. And the more I was able to lean into being uncomfortable, the less uncomfortable I was, and the more I learned, and the more I learned, and the more I worked. It just all was a snowball effect. And I'm sure Lisa's the same now after doing this for a very long time. All the hard work and being ethical and above board and truthful, and even when someone doesn't want to hear the truth, telling them that, it's gotten to a point where business will come when you're not even looking for it, because of the track record of doing things the right way and working hard for 2 decades.
Yeah, you're building your relationships and trust, and also getting better as you do it. What would you say, Warner, are some of the strategies you use or your team uses to build your business?
So
I know that's a big macro question.
It's a big question. I would
just give us a few little pearls of wisdom.
How our team does it is very bifurcated. So the way that I do it, you would never teach anyone, ever. When my business partner, Ari, was at Columbia going to business school, he read a book about networking. And he came in and just dropped the book on my desk and was like, everything in this book they talk about, you do just without thinking about it. So I will go to a sauna and just sit there and meet a client. Just talking about something that I love and being genuine. And all of a sudden, that's a lifelong friend that business comes from. That is not what you should do or what most people can do. My business partner is the complete opposite. So he is blocking and tackling every day, making sure mailings go out, phone calls are done, mailers for close, all the things that are so essential to keep things running, he's doing. I'm the one who will walk down the street and see someone reading a book that I read, start a conversation, and then we're selling a portfolio for them. So it's, again, not something you teach, but it works for me. But our team does everything because the organic way of doing things doesn't work day in, day out. So
everybody has their secret sauce, I like to say. And Lisa, what are name some of the strategies that you have or you use?
Well, so I would say I'm definitely more of the Warner model. I'm not somebody who sends out mailings. I mean, sometimes Kevin will tell me I need to send out mailings, but I'm not really great at doing sort of the the formal outreach. I'm also the kind of person, I get to know people. I don't tell people right away that I'm a broker. I just get to know people, and eventually, either quickly or slowly, people learn to trust me and like me, and then I end up doing business for them. I mean, one of the ways I got really started in the industry years ago was that I was a member of what's now Equinox, but it was the Reebok.
I remember the Reebok. Yeah.
And I was in the executive locker room, and so I had a permanent locker, and I'd be there every morning at the same time. And there were a bunch of women who were around my age, and we all got to be friends. But I'm still the glue that holds everyone together because I became everybody's real estate broker, like everybody.
Love that.
And I got 10 huge clients that way. And that's kind of the way I've always sort of gotten my business. And then, the other thing that I think in some ways has made our business easier to get more business is because everything's transparent. Nowadays, when somebody looks for a new broker, either to buy or sell, they look online to see who else has done that kind of work, and you often get inquiries that way.
Yeah.
So somewhat organically, your business starts building upon itself.
So creating and maintaining relationships is the essence of everything that we do. How do you guys go about doing that? You guys, Warner, why don't you go?
So I actually just had an example of this that happened the other night. So I love putting people, places, and things together. My superpower, which also is my Achilles heel, is I see things that aren't in existence yet and connections that should be made. Even if they have nothing to do with real estate, I love helping people get jobs, meet their wives, whatever. I see these things and put them together. And so the other night I had a friend whose family owns a professional sports team who's coming to town to go and have dinner with his wife. And he wanted recommendations. I have a friend who's had an enormous hedge fund who's very high up, and I got recommendations from him. And I said, these are the recommendations, this is who it came from. One person said, I'd like to meet the other one. And so we're going to all meet up. And it's a relationship these two people should meet, and it's going to be fun. And I'm going to enjoy putting them together because we'll talk sports the whole time.
I know sports is a big...
And so I don't know if anything's going to come of that, but I love it. And so it's that ability to... I grew up in the city throwing parties when I was really young. I was known as Mr. Host. Anyone came to New York City, it was my city. So it's still that same, where people will call me about something that has nothing to do with real estate, and I'll take care of it. I like to think of myself as Mr. Wolf from Pulp Fiction, who you call him when everything goes wrong and you need your friend to get into a school, kid to go into school, or a scholarship or whatever. I just love making things happen for people, not with thinking I'm going to get something back from it.
Yeah.
But I realize
just
the more I
doing
give
it for the right reason. Yeah.
The more I get back, but I'm not giving to get, but it works that way.
Love that. Lise, what would you say?
I actually have a similar model.
Yeah.
I would say my model's a little bit more of the mama bear. That's, the mother of 3 boys in me. I don't have that sports stuff that some men do.
Sports.
I would say I'm involved in a lot of different charities, and that's really important to me, and political activism. And I also like to connect people, whether it's fixing people up, or, this past weekend, I connected a PR person with my friend who owns a big restaurant to do a singles event, because one of them also has a single daughter. So I would say I do similar things like that as well. And I just keep up with people. I would say I don't do it in a methodical way, but I'm the kind of person that when I'm at the gym, when I'm falling asleep, when I'm waking up, all those moments where you're not actually doing something else for work, I'll be thinking about who I should be calling, who I should be reaching out to. If I'm doing something and it reminds me of a client, I always will make sure to reach out to that client and say, I was doing this and I thought of you. And all of those different things sort of just keep you present in people's minds and keep you important to people.
I mean, you guys are both masters of relationships, that's for sure.
And you always say it's a relationship business.
It is a relationship business, and you have to have EQ in this business.
Yeah.
So time management, that's one of the biggest challenges that I find myself having is like, how do I fit it all in? I never feel like I have enough time to do the things that I need to do. How do you Lisa, how do you manage? How do you deal?
You have to wake up early. You have to go to bed late. That's number one.
I mean, but I like to go to bed early. I just love to be in bed snuggled in early. I just do.
I go to bed late. I would say one of the things that my father taught me many years ago is that the human brain has a lot of space, but it doesn't have space for everything. So the other day, Kevin was talking to me about advertising budgets. He was explaining it to somebody that we were hiring. And I said, I really don't know how any of that works. I mean, I know what I have to do, but I said, I'm on an as needed basis, need to know basis. So I try not to do stuff during the day that's not necessary. So I really try to stay off social media.
Yes.
I don't read the rags. I read what I need to read. To me, that's how I manage my time, is I don't go out for lunch during the week.
That's smart.
Hardly.
Unless you really have to.
Exactly. If it's a business lunch or if it's a friend I haven't seen in a long time,
You'll
I'll do it. But I would say I go out to lunch less than once a week. I like to exercise almost every day. I just get up early to do it.
You're a big swimmer, I know that.
Yeah, so, I just think you do what you need to do and don't worry about the stuff that's irrelevant.
Love that. Warner, what about you?
So I have Ari to thank for having built out so many systems for our team that I'm able to be very focused on being me, which means that the paperwork and the things that will make me breathe into a paper bag because I'm hyperventilating because I'm not linear, off my plate. Not touching them,
so
not seeing
smart.
them. The managing of the team, that's Ari. Ari is built to be a CEO. We tried to co-CEO and he wanted to kill me because, again, it's like he's just so linear and so good at this that it allows me to not have to worry about it, not think about it.
Yeah.
Hence, I can go and do something that is enjoyable with someone who I like. And again, just being organically out there, something will happen. I was walking here today and someone yelled, "Hey, Warner, across the street, do you have anyone who wants to buy multifamily portfolio?" I was like, maybe. He's like, rent stable. I was like, okay, we can't do it. But walked away. It was like, that just kind of happens to me. And if I'm in an office trying to do a board package, and I'd be doing it terribly if I was doing it, I'm not out there doing what I do best.
Not best use of your time.
It might be a low hit rate, but the things that maybe the biggest thing we've ever had started with me being at Blue Bottle with my son in the morning, getting an espresso because I couldn't even think, I was so tired, and someone telling me they were having a child, and I said, it's a terrible idea, don't do it. And that person remembering me, calling me to represent them. And I'm like you, Lisa, I don't tell anyone I'm a broker. I think, to me, I don't want to be the guy in the elevator. You're like, oh, is this person going to ask me about my place? Like I've heard don't be a secret agent, but I'm kind of a secret agent. And this person remembered me, brought me in, was selling their place to someone who was direct. That direct buyer last second bought in a broker. Okay, totally fine. You well within your right to do it. I'm going to treat you ethically and well. Negotiated very well against this broker. This broker ended up having a relationship with a huge investment fund who then years later brought us in because of our relationship to do hundreds of millions in sales. So from one espresso, I didn't even remember the conversation being out there, and that's led to other portfolios and this and that. It's just, again, for me, it's just being out there.
That's the best.
So it's kind of,
So what may I ask you about social media? How much does social media play into your business?
So the answer is it should probably more.
No, it shouldn't. You're super successful. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So it's just a medium that I have not personally felt I've been able to capture whatever essence it is that draws people to me in person. And we do have a very robust presence, and that is a testament to our marketing team and to Ari. But I am not actively focused on it in a way that I probably should be. I actually do enjoy doing things like this. I just don't hunt for them, I think, as others might.
I mean, just because some people are doing doesn't mean everybody should. Lisa, what about you?
So I use it somewhat. At this point, I've been doing it a little bit more just for how I feel about certain things that are going on in the world. I have to say, I had this one fabulous listing, and a guy came in to do a TikTok, and it has over 4 million hits.
Oh my God.
Views. that
That's a
hasn't
big deal.
translated into offers. So I'm not sure that
Hasn't translated to business.
no.
I mean, that's quite a profound statement. I think it gets people's eyes on things, but does it really give you business? So it sounds like where you're spending your time, Warner, is in the right place. But go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of agree. I think it's boots on the ground. It's talking to people.
I agree.
It's-
100%.
Yeah.
Could not agree. Well, last question for you guys. You've both been through up markets, down markets, tough times. Tell me about how you've gotten through a very difficult market, how you survived it, things that you did. Any tips you can share with other agents? I'll go to you, Lisa.
So I'm going to go back to what we said in the beginning. It's grit. It's grit. I remember during the financial crisis, nothing was moving, right? Nobody wanted to buy anything. Nobody knew what was going on. So I started doing rentals, which I hadn't done in years. And I remember Max, who works with me now, didn't work with me at the time. And he was like, Mom, you doing rentals? I said, yeah, I have a mortgage to pay. So, I just stay busy. Whatever it is, stay busy. And you'll ride it out. This too shall end and it'll get busy again. But I think part of always doing well is keeping yourself busy and never sort of saying, oh, well, I'm just going to stop now till things pick up. I don't think that works.
Now,
Warner?
I think it is just doing the next right thing. I mean, 4 years ago, almost to the day, we launched a new development that we personally had money in and had a PG on the day before the shutdown. I had a black swan situation with a personal investment happen, and we're in a pandemic. And I was like, that's it. We're done. It's over. But I had to, with a mortgage to pay, with kids, get up every day. And a friend told me, like, you have to basically put up a shield and block your kids from all of this, and every day just do the next right thing. And I did. And if you had told me that 21 and 22 were going to happen and we're right around the corner, I would have never believed you in March of 2020.
I knew it was going to happen.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. But because I did not believe it at the time. But that I got up and each day did things to help others out or to the right thing and help my business. And as you said, this too shall pass. It's been 20 years for me, so there have been lots of ups and downs. And I think that what COVID and Lehman and everything taught me is I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
It will turn
Nobody does.
eventually. I mean, I grew up in Manhattan, so was born in the mid-'70s. And if you had told anyone in the mid-'70s that Manhattan would be where it is today, they would have never believed you.
That's right.
Ever. If you told my parents growing up on the Upper East Side that living downtown would be the place to live, no one would have ever believed you.
That's right.
All these things just change, and it's...
Well, there's a saying, history is the study of surprises, which is so true. Like, people, you just don't know, but...
Yeah, you have to see it as an adventure.
You do. I think both of you are incredible at what you do and aspirational for agents who are getting into the business. And so I just want to say thank you to Lisa and to Warner for being here with us today. And I know you guys need to get back to work. So have a good day. Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.